Hi everyone, Claire here. I'm going to do a quick image transfer onto glass for you. And as you can see, I have a piece of glass here. If you're doing a transfer onto anything that you want to see through, like glass or perspex or anything like that, you need to make sure that you clean it with alcohol first and make sure that you don't touch it on the side where you're putting the image. Otherwise you're pretty much going to be have fingerprints that'll be there forever and they will show through. So I've just got a bit of pattern paper here. It's just a scrap of pattern paper, and I've got my Liquitex super heavy gel, again the matte one. So it's really simple. Just going to take a bit of the gel, put it on, not too thick this time, just a nice even coating, and just big enough as it is. And then I'm going to put my piece of glass into it. I didn't get a baby wipe out. I want to get this gel off my tool because I keep ruining these things and it's starting to cost me a fortune to replace them. Okay. So as you can see, that's on there, but it's only stuck in one place. So I'm going to give it a press and a squidge and a little, you can see, a little wiggle. Yes, you can. A good press. Got a bit of gel medium on the top, but that doesn't matter because it just comes off with the baby wipe. So only the underside that matters. Okay, so I'm going to do like I did before, take the excess from the edges. And put it back in the tub. Okay. Right then, I am going to leave that to dry. So I'll be back when that's dry, and obviously I can see through it, so I can see when it's going to be dry. Okay, now my slide is dry and you can see it's all clear. So what I'm going to do is take a pair of scissors and cut the paper off. This effect looks really good if you get things like cheap candle holders and stuff with glass in the sides. You get them all over from like the Range, Wilkinson's, that kind of place. I'll show you what I mean. This one is an altered one that I've done, and I've done with the same technique. So I'll open up the side and show you what I mean. So there you go. I put matte paper for that particular one. And when you put you can't use obviously a real candle because you've put the transfer on. You need to use a battery operated tea light. So I wouldn't put a real candle in there ever. Okay, so now I've cut it down. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to spray it with water. Let it soak in for a second. And now what you'll see is the gel will kind of reactivate with this technique because it's on glass and it's not got anywhere to go. So if I turn it around now, yeah, you can see it's kind of going a bit milky, and that's the gel reactivating. And it's also drying really quickly, so keep it well wet. Now you have to be really, really careful when you're doing it with the other ones onto wood and stuff. You don't really need to be careful, but because it's onto a non-porous surface, you need to really, really be careful, because you can rip your whole project, and that's not good. Okay. And again, always start from the middle and work your way out. Be very, very careful when you're doing it with glass. You don't want to get splinters of glass in your fingers or anything like that. Even if it's, you know, shaped glass and it's got a smooth edge, you still want to be really careful. Now you can see on the other side it's gone completely milky. That means that the gel medium has been reactivated, and when it's like that, this is its dangerous point. It means that you can, if you see here, you can pull it up. Yeah, you can see. And that's not what we're going for. And so I'm just going to push it back down. But it also means that if you press too hard, you will move the whole thing on the glass, which is not something that you want to do either. So what I do is, once I've got the majority off, like that, I'm not going to polish it. I'm not going to use the texture sponge or anything on it. I am just going to stop, and I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to let that dry naturally. I'm not going to speed it up with a heat gun because it's glass. Okay. So that's what it looks like at this point. That's the back. So we want the front to look like that. Okay, so I'm back and it's almost dry, but it's still got quite a lot of white fuzz on the back. So I'm going to use a combination of two things, which is texture sponge and a wet finger, which some people think is horrible, but I just lick my finger and give it a rub. You want to be going very gentle, but not so gentle that you're not touching it, but it's wet finger always does this trick. Always does it. Like, I've pulled a little tiny bit off here, right on this edge. So I'm moving away from that area completely. And I'm not going to be able to get that bit off in the corner because I'm just going to pull the whole thing off. So I'm going to leave that bit. You will never ever get the image perfect, so don't even try. Okay, I think I am just about there. Yep. So that's the back side, and the front now looks like that. And you can see through, as you can. Show you on the magazine. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a bit of gel medium on. Again, I'm just going for the little bit of the cheap one. Does not need much. Where's the edge? It came up. There it is. So just shift it down the edge. And then a quick coat over the back. The main reason I do the quick coat over the back is really just to protect it. It does make a big difference. Especially if it's a decoration item and people are going to be touching it. Definitely want to seal it. I'd use something more than a matte medium. I'd use a proper varnish. And again, you can see putting that medium on. Oh, sorry, I don't know when that went fuzzy. So it's gone a bit milky again. But once it's dry, I'll leave it glass side down so it can dry. And I would normally leave that for a few hours to set before I'd put it in my project. And give the top side of the glass a good polish with some alcohol. So, because it's just setting, what I'm going to do is just give it a quick waft so I can show you the finished result. Okay. No, it needs to set overnight. It'll go completely clear overnight and look like one of them. You can actually see on this one where I rubbed too hard and I actually split my image. And I think there's another place as well. Yep, there. So I was rubbing like that way and split the image. It turned out okay in the end for this project, but might not have done on a different project. Okay. Thanks for watching.